네, 안녕하십니까. 2020년 숙명여자대학교 아시아여성연구원 국제학술대회 2일자 일정을 시작하겠습니다. 이른 아침에도 불구하고 학회 현장에 그리고 온라인으로 접속하셔서 참여해 주시는 많은 분들께 감사의 말씀 드립니다. 아시다시피 이번 국제학술대회 주제는 지속 가능한 개발과 젠더 혁신으로 그간의 젠더 이슈에 대한 도전, 그리고 연구 성과에 대한 재조명, 그리고 젠더 이슈 확산에 대한 논의가 이어져 왔습니다. 어제에 이어서 그런 논의를 펼치고 있는데요. 어제에 이어서 오늘도 과학기술 분야와 인문사회 분야에서 떠오르는 페미니즘 이슈와 젠더 이슈에 대한 활발한 그리고 생산적인 발표와 토론이 이어질 것입니다. 여러분들의 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. 오늘 2일자 프로그램은 기조 연설로 시작합니다. 기조 연설을 해주실 분은 나이지리아 바이에로 유니버시티의 환경물리학과에 재직 중이신 라비아 사이유 사이드 교수님이십니다. 교수님은 대기 및 우주 기상 물리학, 소립자 물리학, 전자공학 전공자로서 2016년 나이지리아 물리학 여성협회 모범 대표상을 네, 수상하셨습니다. 그리고 2015년에는 나이지리아 카누주에서 그 과학진흥에 기여한 공로로 과학기술부 상을 수상하셨습니다. 또한 엘스비어 재단과 세계과학학술원 그리고 개발도상국을 위한 여성과학자 기구에서 수여하는 물리학 분야의 얼리 커리어상을 수상하셨습니다. 오늘 기조 연설에서는 물리학자로서 과학과 환경 그리고 젠더와 관련해서 활동하신 경험과 시각을 공유해 주실 것입니다. 코로나 상황으로 현장에 모시지 못하고 사전에 동영상을 제작해서 전달하는 점에 대해서 양해를 부탁드립니다. 그럼 라비아 살리우 사이드 교수님의 기조 연설을 듣겠습니다.
Hi everyone, I'm Rabia Salih Said. I am recording this video as a keynote speech for the 2020 International Conference, marking the 60th anniversary of the Sukmyung Asian Women's University of South Korea. The conference, which is scheduled to take place on the 11th to the 12th of November 2020. Due to the COVID-19, I would not be attending in person, and therefore I'm making this recording of my keynote speech. When Dr. Soo-Jin Park contacted me in August 2019, she mentioned that it would be a great idea to share my work in science and environment and gender-related activities. This is what I will be doing in the spirit of a saying which goes like this. One day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through, and it will be someone else's survivor guide. I hope that what I will be saying would make sense for somebody to use it as a survival guide and for mentoring and for also looking out for each other as women in different careers. So I am a full professor of physics at a university in Nigeria called Bairo University, which is situated in a town called Kano in northern Nigeria. My work in the university involves teaching undergraduate basics of physics, like electricity and magnetism, like material physics, like modern physics, and all the related basic parts of physics. And then I also teach postgraduate students, master's level, and I supervise projects at undergraduate level and also postgraduate level, supervising master's students. And to date, I have supervised 15 master's degree students to completion. And I have supervised one PhD to completion. And I have 3 ongoing PhD students who are carrying out research mainly in atmospheric physics, either the lower or middle or upper atmosphere. And apart from that also, we have a collaboration with the Center for Atmospheric Research, situated in the almost the middle belt of Nigeria, in a place called Ayangba in Kogi State. To let you know, Nigeria has 36 states, and each of those states with their capital. So this state, Kogi State, is one of the states. Where my university is situated is called Kano State, which is capital in Kano town, while the Kogi State has a capital in a town called Lokoja, which is a confluence town of the River Niger and River Benue. Meanwhile, there's a center in a university, which is a state university, and this center is called the Center for Atmospheric Research. So my department, Department of Physics of Bayero University, has a collaboration with that center, and we established a lab called the Space Weather and Atmospheric Physics Lab. And I coordinate this laboratory where we try to, we have a weather station, and we measure a lot of atmospheric parameters, meteorological parameters, such as relative humidity, air pressure, soil moisture, temperature, and solar radiation. And the students use this data in some of their research analysis. And then again, I am a deputy director, partnerships, in the Directorate of Research, Innovation and Partnerships. The Directorate of Research, Innovation and Partnerships in the university, it has a director who is the overall head of that directorate. And then we have a deputy director, research and publication. Then we have a deputy director, innovations, and then we have a deputy director, partnerships. So I'm a deputy director of partnerships, and my main job in this is to find linkages and partnerships for the university where we can collaborate either in research or in exchange of ideas, or even exchange of stuff. This is the work that I do there. And then also I'm a member of the Gender Policy Development in the Center for Gender Studies. And then in my work in science and environment, for example, I am a member of the Group on Earth Observations. And I have my membership started this year and will last for 2 years, from 2020 to 2022. I'm in the Climate Change Working Group and also in the Data Working Group. And this I do as a collaboration with the African Climate Change Research Center, of which I'm a consultant. So basically, these are the work that I do within the university. Probably the thing that I call my primary job. And then I do the others that I will be talking about will be the work that I do on a volunteer basis, and the activities that I conduct with young men and women, and also with young girls and boys. I want to, at this point, thank profoundly Dr. Sojin Park for considering me as a keynote speaker at this esteemed conference, and also to thank Professor Ko In-jong. My apologies if I mispronounced some of the names, who is the Associate Research Professor at the Asian Women's Research, the Institute of Asian Women, Sukmyung Women's University of South Korea. It is my privilege and honor to be a keynote speaker at this international conference of 2020, which is marking the 60th anniversary of the Asian Women in Science. I have never been to Korea, and I was looking forward to traveling there and meeting once again with my very good friend, Dr. Sojin Park, whom I met at the University of Reading, the UK, I think around 2004. We lived in the same apartment together, and I will never forget Dr. Sojin Park's kindness when I fell on the train and then injured my knee, and I had to stay immobile for a while, and she was helping me to prepare some meals for me, and that was a great time, and that was a good friendship. And then for her to remember to also contact me to be a keynote speaker at this event. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 could not allow us to meet in person, but I'm happy to be able to do this recording and share with the people that would be at the conference physically, and those that would be attending virtually can also access it. Like I said, I've been asked to share with you all on the occasion of the 60th anniversary of the Women in Science and the Sukmyong Women's University International Conference, my career path, and the work that I do with young girls and boys in Nigeria and also abroad. So I want to start by saying that one of the things that I do is the mentoring and advocacy. In this mentoring and advocacy here in Nigeria, I go to secondary schools, and secondary schools is a time when young girls or boys can be within the age of 11 to 16 years. That's the time after their primary education and and before they go to university. So it usually ranges between 11 to 16 years, even though there might be variations here and there with people who start late, some people starting at 12 years, some people starting at 13, and then finishing probably at 17 or 18 before they start university. Some might even take longer. And in these advocacy and mentoring activities, what I usually do is to go and give career guidance, because in order to go into university, and if you want to like go into the sciences, there are specific courses you need to take at the secondary school level, because the courses you take at the secondary school level, they determine what you're going to do. And I will share with you one time in one of these career talks, um, spoke, a young girl put up her hand and she said that she wanted to be a medical doctor. And then I was asking her what courses, what subjects she's taking, and she started mentioning some subjects like economics, geography. She mentioned that some, essentially she wasn't taking the science courses that would lead to that path that she wanted to be. So those kind of guidance are the things that we do to let them know that if you're going to be this is what you require. If you're going to do that, this is what you require. So that's the kind that those are the career guidance talks. And then again, another one is on the undergraduates, and these undergraduates can range between 16 years to 23 years, and then at first level 100, which is the beginning of the university year, uh, the students can range between 16, 20 years, and then some. Mostly they cannot, by the regulation of the Nigerian government, they cannot be less than 16 years by the time they start universities. So these categories of students or boys and girls, the mentoring and advocacy that we do is linked to sometimes some projects by some non-governmental organizations or some international organizations. I was very privileged to be trained as a facilitator by the British Council, and then we did some activities related, which is called a program called the Active Citizens Program. The Active Citizens Program is actually a program targeting some young men and women at ranging within those years that I told you about, 16 to 23 years, or going up to like 30 years, young men and women, where they are trained to think responsibly